forcing the kids to call that parent mom or dad.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Go ahead and get on that one.
And just that. Now I feel like that's a number one rule or a big issue when it comes to blended families, on if I should call that person mom, if I should call that person dad, or if I shouldn't, because you don't want to disrespect the other one. You don't want to disrespect your mom by calling this other woman mom.
Let me jump in real fast. Listen, if the biological parent is still in the child's life, then yes, that is their mother, that's their father, whatever it is. If they still are in the life of the child, the children, that's mom and dad. Period. Now, there's so many nicknames. There's so many nicknames that you can create for the step parent. I don't like the word step parent.
Right.
You know, we have one of our Harmony's friends. You know, she got like 3 mamas. Here's my real mama and here's my 2 mama. She got 2 mamas.
2 mommies.
Right. She got 2 mommies, so she called the second mommy 2 mommy. You know, and Lyric and Harmony called her Mommy K at the beginning.
At the beginning it was Miss Krystal. I'm gonna tell you how my story went and on how I did it.
Okay.
And what worked for us. But what worked? What he's saying? If you're an active parent.
Can I finish something real fast though? If the biological parent is not in the children's life, a father is as a father does. A mother is as a mother does. So if the parent is not in the kid's life, I don't think they earn that right to be called a mother or a father, because they're not fathering, they're not mothering. They just had the baby. All right, now that's gonna step on a lot of toes out there, but I'm gonna go ahead and recede. Continue.
Yes, he is. And I'm gonna go on the first part. If they have an active mother and father, and they're in the child's life, I think as grown-ups, we should all be able to talk to each other and show that respect. Like, do you mind if that conversation come up? What if that kid comes up to me and be like, I want to call you my dad, or I want to call you my mom, and it's like, well, first let me speak with your mom on that. Mm-hmm. You know, like talk to that woman, respect her mother enough to do that. And if that mother says, I'm not comfortable with that, then you should respect her enough to be like, okay, that's fine. Then let's say, hey, come up with, like he said, there's different nicknames that you can call each other that it can mean the same thing. It's almost like, that's my Nana, or, nanas can mean aunts. I call my aunt Nana. So, some people call their grandmothers Nana. You can say anything else other than like Miss this at first, just because it shows that you bond and you have a relationship with each other. I feel like that's between the grown-ups and then the kids. If the kids say this is what they want, then y'all should talk about that. But do not force that kid to call your spouse mom or dad. The day you start doing that will be probably the day that kid will start probably having resentment towards you. They'll feel some type of way, and if they don't feel it at that time, trust me, when they get older, they ask questions. Mm-hmm. When they get older, they find out the truth. And you don't want to be on that other side showing that, well, the only reason why is because my mom or my dad told me I had to. They said I had to. They said I had to do this. And then that's going to cause a lot more problems. And then from my experience, this shows with different kids, they start to lash out and resent you. Mm-hmm. Now, for my situation, and what I did with Lyric and Harmony. Okay, when I first came in the picture, I known him as a single father. Now, when I say single father, I just thought he was a single dad, and him and his ex split, visitations and stuff with the kids. But he just had them most of the time, and she'll come pick him up and do that. That's what I assumed. I didn't assume a single father, like, you for real a single father by yourself, doing it all by yourself. I didn't know that. Now, once I realized that was going on in his life, I still chose to sit down with the mother. I was like, I want to sit down with her because I want her to know I would never hurt her daughters. I just felt like that. I needed to let her know that as woman to woman. So, fast forward a little bit. We had the meeting. Let's just say we had it.
Message.
Okay, we had the meeting. Okay, we moved on from there. She's still not really active in the girl's life. And it's like, but more she's trying to be active. Well, let me rewind. I'll tell you a little bit about the meeting. It was not a lot about Lyric and Harmony, but more about herself. And when we did talk about Lyric and Harmony, I just wanted her to say that I was not trying to take her place as a mother. She let me know at that moment, I can never do that. She's their mother, so on and so forth. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. But I did end it with this. I would never take your place as a mother, only if you give it up.
Ooh!
Now, I left the conversation at that because at that point, I already knew that she wasn't even actively in their life. But the way she was coming at me, that's why I made the little comment to her. I said, that's only how I can take that place from you, if you give it up. Now, like I fast forward a little again, she's still not that active in their life. And when I say not that active, it'll be maybe a summertime and maybe one holiday she will try to come see them. I told the girls at this point, I'm Miss Krystal, so you don't ever have to call me mom. You don't ever have to call me mom in your life, because I don't want you to feel forced to do so. But you will respect me. That's all I ask. And if you're gonna respect me, it's gonna be Miss Krystal. That's just how I felt. Other people don't like that, but to me, that's respect. It shows me respect. And I'm just really big on that.
It didn't last long because the kids themselves, Lyric and Harmony, wanted to start calling you what?
They did. Now, let me say, after a while, they wanted to start calling me mom. So I was like, I don't know. I knew it would bother a lot of people. But I wanted to make sure their dad was okay. He was definitely okay. He was like, you are their mother. You're doing everything a mother's supposed to do. And I was just like, oh, okay. So I was like, well, what is it y'all want to call me? And they was like, let's come up with a name.
This is real conversation.
Right. So then we was like, all right. So then it was like, Ma Too. I was like, okay, I'm going. And they was like, no. And then Harmony was like, Mommy K. Mommy K. I was like, okay, that's cute.
Mommy
so
K it is.
It stuck. So Mommy K became my name for like a few years after that. Like It was a few years I was Mommy K, Mommy K. And during those few years, I would say maybe 2 years. I wouldn't even say 2 years. Maybe up to that, they were seeing their mom maybe 3 times. 3 times during those 2 years, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe 3 times.
You've been generous.
Right. So after that, it was just like, they kind of was just like, slowly but surely, I heard Harmony, or Lyric would say, Mom. And I was like, huh? And then I think about it, like, did she just call me Mom and not Mommy K? And you know, it kind of felt good, but I didn't want to say anything, because again, I'm not going to pressure them to take that. But why would I want to take away from her feeling like she has a mother? Because that's what I wanted to be for her, because she didn't have that. Mm-hmm. So I was willing to be that mother for her. And I already made a vow to God when I married him, and I married them. I married them and promised them that I'd be a mother figure. Mm-hmm. So why not? Is what I'm thinking to myself. This is all going in my head.
Mm-hmm. Surely is.
So then, eventually, once we had Junior, it was like Mommy K went out the door. Because they didn't want to be no different than him. And I told them they were no different than him. They're the same as him. So they was like, well, then you're my mom. And I became their mom. But all of this was through them.
Yep. We didn't pressure them. We didn't make them.
The only thing I ever made them do was say, treat me with respect, and say, Miss Krystal. You don't have to call me mom. Because again, and I told them the same thing that I told her. I would never try to take the place of your mother. Unless she gives it up. And I was like, and if she doesn't give it up, that's your mom. And that's another thing. I wasn't speaking ill of that woman ever in the presence of Lyric and Harmony. I never said the things that I felt inside. Now I'm going to say it to him privately, but not to them, ever to them. Because at the end of the day, that is their mother. And I tell them every single time I talk to them about that, you need to respect her as such. And they know that. But when she chose to leave, and they have not seen this woman in the past, 8 to 9 years, she gave that up. So that's how I knew I became their mother.